Welcome everyone to our Start on Campus session about getting involved and getting to know your college governments. My name is Jenny Danes and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the member of the START team who is here to help you prepare this summer for starting at UofG in the fall. We're really excited to have you here, have you all here with us this afternoon. And just remember, if at any point you have any questions about the content of the session, you can pop them into our question and answer chat, or you can email us at start@uofguelph.ca and we can help you find the right answer. Before we begin, I want to begin with a land acknowledgement. So the University of Guelph resides on the treaties and territory lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit. It is recognized that the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples have long-standing and ongoing relationships with this land. This is a gathering place where we work and learn and is home to many past, present, and future First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. It is important to recognize the lands of Indigenous peoples locally and across Turtle Island and around the world. We acknowledge the land because we have a collective responsibility to this place and its people's histories, rights, and present. So today we're going to chat about a few different ways that you can get involved across campus. We're going to talk about the different groups that we have on campus, such as clubs and societies, special status groups, as well as some of our large student organizations. And you'll get to hear from many different partners. We have some wonderful people here today that can help you find your own way and your own unique way of getting involved and whatever that looks like for you. And just a reminder that this session is also being recorded and posted on startonline.ca 48 hours after the session, so that you can watch the session and play it back should you want to capture any of that great information that is going to be shared. So now, without further ado, I'm going to invite Christina onto the screen, and she's going to chat with us all about the different clubs and societies on campus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Eisenbach. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the coordinator of student leadership on campus. So that means that I get to work with student leaders and student governments in planning really fun and engaging opportunities for all of you, our undergrad students. At the University of Guelph, we want you, of course, to enjoy your time as a student, but we also want you to grow as a person and as a member of our campus and our wider community. So what does that mean for you? It means finding a sense of belonging and building connections with special mentors and friends that are going to help guide your journey while you're here. And it's so very important to take these chances for connectedness now as we start to move out of this COVID pandemic. We want you to have these networks in place right from the very beginning of your time here with us. So one of the best ways to get started is to explore and get involved with some of the many unique clubs and societies that contribute to student life and the vibrancy of our campus here at Guelph. And in sort of kicking off that exploration process, I'd like to point you first to two really important resources. So the first one is our official campus engagement platform. It's called Griffin Life, and you can find it at grifflife.ca. Once you sign into Griffin Life, you'll have at your fingertips the opportunity to explore scores of clubs and student groups and volunteer associations, and it can really help your search to find those communities that are meaningful to you and things that bring you excitement and joy. And I'd also recommend, if you haven't already, grab your phones and download the I Am a Griffin app. The app itself is very handy and it syncs with your Griffmail and your calendars, but you can also use it to explore pages and join channels that are hosted by a lot of these different clubs and associations that we're going to talk about. So there'll also be links there to different events and workshops and lots of opportunities that might spike your interest. So my colleagues Patrick and Amalia are going to talk to you about these two virtual resources in a lot more detail towards the end of the presentation. They're going to give you a bit of a tutorial. They'll give you some handy tips and tricks on how to use each of them. But in the meantime, let's talk about some clubs and some of the fun things that they offer. So, all about clubs. At our last count, the U of G had almost 300 recognized student organizations with a total of between 16 and 1,800 students running those clubs and associations. That doesn't even count all of the students that are sort of general everyday members of those different clubs and associations. So that's a massive number of people and a huge network of friends and way to make connections on campus. Clubs themselves might be academically based, depending on your major or minor, or they might be athletics, general interest, advocacy, or identity based. And you're going to find too that some clubs are quite large. So organizations like our engineering society, for example, might have dozens and dozens of members, while other clubs are very small and intimate, and they just have a few folks that share a certain love or interest in a certain topic. So this gives you the chance to really tailor how you participate and to find the group size and the topic that's comfortable and really meaningful for you. We're also finding in recent months too that many of our clubs and organizations have started to really try and blend or reintegrate in-person events with virtual ones. So for a long time on campus, as I'm sure you all experienced in high school, a lot of events were happening online due to restrictions and social distancing and all of those not so fun things. But now, as we're seeing mandates lifted and we're trying to get back to a little bit of a sense of normal, clubs are really eager again for in-person events. And we know how important it is to be able to meet and talk to each other and share experiences with real people in real time. So there's going to be lots of chances to get outside, to explore different spaces and buildings on campus and just to be together. That said, though, if you're still unsure about meeting larger groups of people, or you still feel like you're adjusting to some of these really big changes, there are still lots of virtual events and club meetings that happen online on a regular basis too. So there really is something out there for everyone. Let's have a very brief look at some of the clubs that we have available for you. Academically, we're looking at things like our Fine Arts Network, Women in Science and Engineering, Engineers Without Borders. We've got our Geography or our English Students Society, Society of Computing and Information Science. Again, all of those clubs that are tied to different majors and different academic programs. For athletics, we've got some really interesting activities and sort of groups of people that get together doing things like rock climbing. We have a hip hop dance club and other dance packs as well. Nerf club, Quidditch club for anybody that's a Harry Potter fan out there, ultimate frisbee, some really unique clubs like underwater hockey, dragon boating, water polo, lots of very cool fun stuff that way. In terms of general interest, you could join something like our Curtain Call theater program, and they put on plays once a year and work towards it throughout the school year. We have our Drop-In Cop Club. They do clothing swaps on campus, which is really kind of neat and different. Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots, K-pop club, if that's your thing, and everything from origami club to outdoors club, something that really caters to all different interests and activity levels for you. Advocacy groups, we're looking at things like Girl Talk Guelph, that's a feminist organization, Model United Nations. We also have some larger organizations like Oxfam and Rotaract that actually have branches on campus specifically for students, so you can keep eyes out for those. And then in terms of identity groups, again, these are just a very small few, but we've got our Indigenous Students Society, Caribbean Culture Club, Asian Students Society, Guelph Black Professionals, and then we also have some religious-based groups like Guelph Hillel, our Muslim Students Association, or the Guelph Catholic Community, again, just to name a very small few. So hopefully in just this last couple of minutes, you've seen or heard about some clubs or organizations that might appeal to you. Remember, this is only a very small few of the groups that are active on campus, and there are many, many more that we didn't have a chance to highlight. And again, you're going to be able to find a full list of them and make contact with each of them through Griffin Life and through that I Am a Griffin app. And again, Amelia and Patrick are going to be showing you a little bit later on how to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to make a little transition here, and I'd like to tell you about some other really unique organizations on campus. These aren't clubs per se, but they do hold a really special place and they serve special functions within our community. And they offer a lot of events and initiatives and ways to participate and get involved as well. So these groups are called Special Status Groups, or SSGs, and they exist to represent equity-seeking groups on our campus. Equity-seeking groups means communities at the U of G and beyond that experience significant collective barriers to participating in society. So this could be things like marginalization or discrimination that result from social attitudes or from historic barriers based on age, ethnicity, disability, gender, race, sexual orientation, etc. So our SSGs are groups that work to identify these barriers in equal access to resources and opportunities, and then they actively seek social justice and some reparation on campus and in our wider community. So the SSGs on campus, there are 5 of them, and you can see them listed there. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about each one and just give you an overview of what they each do. So the GBSA, or the Guelph Black Student Association, it functions as a resource center for diverse and minority students on campus. So it focuses on issues of diversity and race and other significant factors that are relevant to the lives of students of color. And it really tries to encourage inclusion and respect and education, and to highlight the unique and present Black and minority faces that we have on campus. They do have a small lending library, as well as a safe space for students, study rooms available, again, public programming through the year with different workshops, and they do offer some counseling support as well. And although the association is aimed towards underrepresented students, it is open to everyone on campus who's interested in learning about the issues that face our students of color. GQE, or Guelph Queer Equality, is a queer-run SSG on campus, and it focuses on, of course, creating and maintaining a safer space for our LGBTQ+ students. They have a library as well. They do offer free safe sex supplies and menstrual products, and their office is basically open to folks who want a safe place to visit and to study. They too run events and workshops and socials throughout the year, and they actually collaborate with some of the other SSGs to create space specifically for non-white, queer, and trans individuals as well. Overall, they try to be as inclusive as possible. Many of their events are exclusive to LGBTQ+ or QTPOC students only, but then specific ones are opened up to everyone for the purposes of education and togetherness and healing. So our next SSG is the ISO, the International Student Organization. They aim to help international students learn more about university life on campus and the resources available to them. And they look to provide some extra social and transitional support. So if you're an international student, you need some extra sort of guidance during your time here on campus, they're a really great resource. They can share important information. They do extend advocacy efforts. They have tips and lots of fun and inclusive events for everybody on campus. The 4th one, Guelph Resource Center for Gender Empowerment and Diversity. That's a long name. We also call them GERCED. They are a student-funded resource center for people of all genders or no gender, and they advocate for anti-oppression issues within a feminist framework, and they provide resources and support for community members that are going through academic and personal crises as well. So again, they provide health and counseling information through peer support. They provide a place where talking about mental health is not stigmatized, and they encourage, again, a safe space where survivors of trauma are believed and supported. And last but not least, we have OPIRG, the Ontario Public Interest Research Group. They are an activist center focusing on issues of social and environmental justice. They focus on environmental degradation and social justice issues as products of structures like colonization, imperialism, capitalism, and other forms of inequity. So they actually work to mobilize and be really active on campus through a variety of methods like research and publications, creating awareness, active lobbying, media publications, and those kinds of things. So just to wrap this up, here again, SSGs provide some really interesting and diverse opportunities to get involved and to volunteer and to make change during your time on campus and in the broader world as well. And they're also great ways for you to find support and connection during your time at UofG. At this point, I'm going to turn you over to Jack Fisher, who is here representing the CSA, your Central Student Association, and he's going to give you an introduction to your undergraduate student government.
Hello, my name is Jack Fisher. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the Student Experience Coordinator for the CSA. The CSA is the undergraduate student union, and it is the largest registered student organization on campus because everybody who's an undergraduate student is a member of our organization. For just under $20 a semester, which is a compulsory fee, the CSA offers a ton of different services to every undergraduate student. I've listed them all here on this slide that's on the screen right now. And I'm going to go through the ones that have specific engagement opportunities, but I want to highlight that the CSA helps provide you with your student health and dental insurance plans, your bus pass, which is a universal bus pass. Everybody gets one. You can use the bus in the city at any time. We have a safe walk program. So if you're walking alone on campus after dark, you can call from any yellow pole across campus, and we have some volunteers who will come out and help you walk home safely. And we run everything from the cheapest printing on campus to a student food bank if you're struggling with food security, to live events. We bring in bands all throughout the year to put on shows for students as entertainment, to bust some stress around exams and the like. So CSA specific engagement opportunities are the next slide. And I don't know if I have control of this. Sorry. Does anybody have a control over it? I'm just going to keep talking then. Sorry. There we go. So I've listed a couple things here that if you want to get involved with the CSA as a whole, because it's not just a student club, it's actually a not-for-profit corporation in the province of Ontario. And so we do a whole bunch of stuff with you, for you, as students of the University of Guelph. But if you do want to get involved, there's a couple really unique things that we offer. We've got a do-it-yourself bike center. So just over on the edge of campus, you can bring your bike in, you can bring yourself in, and our volunteers will help train you into how to repair bikes on your own. And then you can start helping other people how to repair their bikes. The CSA Bike Center is actually attached to our student food bank. They're in the same building. So the food bank is always looking for volunteers. And this is a great way if you're interested in food security, food insecurities, you're interested in helping the community, you're helping your fellow students. We have a very active food bank on campus that's actually well used. So we're always looking for people, especially people who care. Other couple cool things we have that we offer here if you want to get involved. And I'm going to get to clubs in a moment because clubs is definitely our biggest one. But we've got our Student Help and Advocacy Center, and this is something that I recommend for people who are going into a CJPP program or some sort of undergraduate program where they're hoping to get into law. This is a place where you can volunteer to intake students and to help them work with an actual lawyer that we bring in, often around tenant issues, housing. It could be anything though, the tasks that the SHAC, which is the acronym, volunteers take on can range in like a very wide variety of things. But if you're interested in legal as a future career, this is a place for you. And the last one is we run a bunch of social justice campaigns through our Vice President External. And this could be anything from no bottled water on campus, eco-friendly environments, to advocating against racism and Islamophobia, or anything in between. So tons of stuff. And this year we haven't yet announced what our campaigns are going to be, so I don't have a lot of details on that for you, but keep your eyes peeled on our social media, which I will plug in just a second. So Christina went through the clubs, and I have just a quick tip that I hope will help you when you're going to look for clubs. there are three main ways you can break down our art clubs. There's the non-academic, cultural, or special interest clubs. And if you're interested in any of those, feel free to email me at csaevents@uofg.ca, and I can help direct you to the club that you're interested in joining. If it's an academic club, like Christina mentioned, we have a bunch of college governments. And if you know what program you're in, you can find which college government you will be a part of and email them. And their information is often easier to find than the specific clubs within them, but they'll be able to help you connect the dots there. Or if you're interested in getting involved in residence, that's Inner Hall Council, who will be, I think, presenting right after me. So I will let Amelia take that in just a second. Or if you're just interested, and I hope you are, again, grifflife.ca, that's the place to go, the place to check out. It's got everything on there, and there's so much to explore. On that note, I have a challenge for everybody watching, either now or if you come back and watch it later, you're watching it a different day. By the end of the day today, try to reach out to a club. It's never too soon. Even if you're not on campus yet, you might still have some idea of what you want to get involved in. And university is a great place to take your comfort zone and just stretch it a little bit. Reach out to somebody, because there's no better way to get involved than to actually just get out there and send that email. So that's my challenge to you. If you're watching this, at the end of this, once you learn how Griffin Life works, try using it. Try finding a contact for a club and getting out there and sending your email out. I did that, and I'm in this picture because I emailed the English Student Society when I was in first year, and I said, hey, I'm an English student. How do I get involved? And they said, come to this room at this time. And I did. And I was in that club for 4 years. So always fun. Last but not least, please, if you are online right now on your phone or your computer, go to Instagram if you can, or if you have it, and follow CSA Guelph. It's at CSA Guelph. We will be posting events all throughout the year, stuff that you can come to be involved in, to get engaged in. And the best way that we can reach you is through your social medias. So it's on the screen there. You know how to follow things. It's 2022. And that's all I've got. So yeah, remember the challenge. Definitely try to email a club today. And we'll see you online. And then during a week.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session. My name is Amelia, and I am the Vice President of Activities on Inner Hall Council, as well as one of the facilitators on orientation team this year. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm going into my 4th year of biological science. So Inner Hall Council, the short form is IHC, is the voice and spirit of resident students. You can come to us for any concerns that you may have regarding residence, but we also sit on committees across campus to represent your voice. We host a weekly council meeting every Tuesday during the school year at 10:15 p.m. in your respective hall buildings. At these meetings, you'll be able to hear all about the upcoming residence events on campus, any new initiatives we plan, and many more exciting things. Inner Hall Council is an amazing way to meet new people and build your leadership skills as a student. In my first year, I met my best friend through IHC. She was the Prairie Hall president, and I was the Maritime Hall social coordinator, and we got along so well that we're still best friends to this day. As I said before, it's also an amazing way to get involved on campus and begin building your student leadership skills. Some skills I've learned are how to speak to campus partners, how to work in a team, and how to plan executive and large-scale events. We have several positions on IHC depending on what skills you're interested in building, starting with the hall executives. There is a public relations officer. So in this role, you'll be responsible for creating and maintaining the social media for the hall that you live in. This can include making Instagram posts, TikToks, and posters for events. The social coordinator. This role is responsible for planning and running hall-wide events during the school year. The vice president. This position aids in supporting the president, keeping track of the hall constitution, and making hall merch for the students. And of course, the president. The hall president is responsible for managing the executive team, managing the hall budget, performing the booking a week, and much more. If you're interested in any position, we will be doing elections for public relations officers, social coordinators, and vice presidents once the school year begins. We are currently in the process of interviewing candidates for the president position, so if you'd like to apply, please email your cover letter and resume to ihcinto@uofg.ca. ter@uofg.ca, and I will put that in the chat after. If you are a resident student and you're interested in getting involved in IHC, but you don't want to commit to a year-long position, coming out to our events is a great way to support us. Your halls will be running a variety of events in O Week, such as crystal bracelet making in East, cactus decorating with South, tea time and talk with Johnston Arts and Mills, and flag signing with North residents. As the main event coordinator of IHC, I'm also personally running events in O Week, including a silent disco and a live drag makeup tutorial with panels of drag queens featuring some queens from seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. With all the self-promotion out of the way, we are now going to chat about the Off-Campus University Students Association. Let's watch this quick video.
Hello, I'm Eric, and I'd like to introduce to you OKUS, or the Off-Campus University Students. OKUS is a student-run club that primarily operates out of the University Center basement, right here in the lounge, UC003. OKUS provides a social and community aspect for any and all students, but we primarily focus on providing a space and a place for all of our off-campus students here at the University of Guelph. Our lounge typically is open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday during both the fall and winter semesters, save for during exam seasons when timings are a little bit weird. We run events pretty much every Friday that you can find on Griffin Life, as well as all of our orientation week events, which will be right up there too. You can reach out to us at okus@uofguelph.ca, and we cannot wait to have you, and we cannot wait to meet you.
All right, so thank you to OKUS there. So now you've heard from the CSA, which is the student government that represents all undergraduate students. And you've also heard from Interhall Council, the student government that represents all students living in residence. And we actually have one more layer of student government to cover today, and that's your college governments. So first of all, we have to understand together what an academic college is. And in simplest terms, an academic college is a group of administrators and professors and students that are all bound together based on a shared area of interest or study. So each academic college will have its own dean's office, and you can think of a dean similar to a principal, for example. And then it will also have associate deans, which are sort of like vice principals as well. These folks are responsible for many different aspects of the college, including what subjects and classes are offered, when they're scheduled, what support staff and teachers are hired, etc., etc. And then under each dean's office, again, is a whole set of professionals that actually work together in the department to conduct research and experiments and contribute to academic knowledge, but then they're also there to support you as students. So these are teams of lecturers and professors, program counselors who are sort of like your guidance counselors from high school. They also have teaching assistants or TAs, and you're going to meet them in your various classes as you get started. So all of these folks and yourselves who are undergrad students are members of a college. And for you, your college is going to depend on what degree program or what major you're enrolled in. So we have 6 colleges on campus that have undergrad students in them. And every single one of you listening right now is a member of one of these colleges. Next question you have, how do I know which college I actually belong to? So again, this depends on what degree program or major you're enrolled in. You can locate this information in a couple of different ways. So first, if you log into your WebAdvisor account, you can actually find those details under the header that says program/academic evaluation. It should be listed for you there. And the other thing is that you'll actually be receiving an email directly from your specific college a little bit later in the summer. So that will help guide you at that point. The other thing you can do if you're keen in the meantime is reach out to the undergraduate Academic Information Center. Again, that's a long name. UAIC is their short form. And if you email uaic@uofguelph.ca, they'll be able to help you do that. Or if you go onto their website, they actually have a live chat feature as well, and you can chat to one of their student staff during regular business hours. So to break this down a little bit further, each college then has a group of elected students who sit on the executive of a student college government, and they represent and they act in the best interest of all of the other students that are enrolled in their college. College governments have a lot of different functions, but some of them are to take the opinions and concerns and requests of students in the college to the dean's office and to members of staff and faculty across campus. They sit on various working groups and committees across campus, again, to represent their students and their set of programs. And they provide help and support and money to smaller clubs that are underneath them to make sure that those smaller clubs can plan fun events and making sure that they're following safety rules and all of those things. And then they themselves also run fun events and socials for students throughout the year, and most notably during orientation week, which we're going to talk about more, and I know you're all looking forward to. So with that, we're going to have a quick look at each of the student college governments and a brief overview of some of their activities. So first we have the College of Arts Student Union, which of course represents College of Arts students. If you're under KAZU, KAZU is the short form, you might be in programs like music, theater studies, English, studio art, French, classical studies, etc. Over the year, KAZU hosts lots of events for art students. This O Week, they're going to be doing an O Week breakfast social on Johnson Green, which is one of our big sort of green open spaces on campus. They also do arts pubs, which are really popular through the year as sort of social nights. They will also do career nights when you're starting to think about job searches and your future pathways. Movie nights, academic focused events and studying events, and they have an annual event called Build a Band, which is a great way for student performers to get out and showcase their talents with each other. And then smaller KAZU clubs will also hold events throughout the year, as I was mentioning as well. The second is College of Biological Sciences Student Council, CBSSC, representing students in biological sciences. So in this case, we're looking at folks in biochemistry, biodiversity, ecology, human kinetics, marine and freshwater biology, genetics, nutritional and nutraceutical science, zoology. Hopefully some of you are finding your majors amongst these lists. If you are a CBSSC student, you can go to their website and they actually have a whole section devoted to new Griffins, which you should definitely check out. It features a CBS undergrad blog, connections and links to important deadlines, first year course testimonials, so you could actually look up a specific first year course and see what other folks have to say about it. And they also have a CBS peer mentorship program where they match new students with more upper year students for some extra support. During O Week this year, they're going to be doing a mix and mingle in the Summerlee Science Complex atrium. As a science student, you would be spending an awful lot of time in that building, so you can look forward to that. And then through the year, they do things like escape rooms, stress busters, information on elective courses, and lots of trivia and social things as well. The third one, Lang Students Association, representing our Lang School of Business. We're looking at folks in accounting, hospitality and tourism, management, economics and finance, real estate, marketing, those kinds of programs. During O Week, LSA is hosting a We Mean Business Club Fair, which is very cool. So they're going to take all of their smaller LSA clubs and have them gather together for a fantastic opportunity to sort of learn about the college government, but also all of the clubs that fall under them. So there's going to be about 15 booths. They're going to have games and prizes and food trucks, so definitely keep an eye out for that one. And then throughout the year, Lang is really well known for socials and big sort of gala and formal events, and also lots of networking events to help you meet professionals in various different industries and folks that can help prepare you for your professional future as well. All right, College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, CEP SSC. Represents all students with majors in engineering and physical sciences, of course, chemistry, computer science, biological engineering, environmental engineering, mathematical science, physics, those kinds of programs. For O Week, they are holding a Prof's Coffee and Ice Cream Social in Thornborough. Again, Thornborough, for any of those students, that's going to be a building you're going to be spending a lot of time in. And as you'll imagine, it's going to be a chance for you to meet professors and faculty and other students and eat free ice cream and drink coffee. So keep an eye out for that. Through the year, their affiliated clubs run professor FAQs, behind the scenes nights for the college, meet the execs, meaning the execs of your college government, lots of crafting and stress buster, job fairs, career nights, all of those good things. So definitely check them out. We next have the Student Federation of the Ontario Agricultural College, our SFOAC. We're looking at folks in food and agricultural and resource economics, equine management, food and ag business, landscape architecture, crop science, horticulture, animal biology, plant science, the sort of the full gamut there. The SFOAC is really well known for its college Aggie spirit and for its large events on campus. Keep an eye out for O Week for their sub lunch. They're going to do a meet and greet on Creelman Green, which is right between Johnson Hall, which is where the SFOAC offices are located, and our main dining hall, which is called Creelman. And they're also going to do an OAC Learn to Line Dance with the Aggies. So that will be really fun for anybody, whether you're in the SFOAC or under the OAC or not. Through the year, they are involved with running College Royal, which is an agricultural and a community open house that's open not only to Guelph campus, but also members of Guelph and wider communities. They do a Tractor Tug for Tots fundraiser, which is literally pulling a tractor across our Weingard Walk and raising money. They have various interest clubs and branches of 4-H and junior farmers and other organizations on campus, and they do a lot of travel-based tours and excursions for real world and sort of on-farm learning about agriculture and business practice. Finally, and last but not least, of course, we have our College of Social and Applied Human Sciences Student Alliance. Seesaw represents students with programs and majors like criminal justice and public policy, applied human nutrition, child studies and family development, geography, political studies, psychology, sociology, anthropology, those kinds of programs. For O Week, they'll be running a Seesaw Trivia Night in McKinnon and a Freezies social where you can come and cool off and get some free freezies. And those are going to be happening, I think, right after your academic degree program meeting, which is also a pre-programmed event for you. So you can meet up with folks from the college immediately right after that. And then through the year, keep your eyes out for pub nights and trivia, giveaway contests, again, career events, and lots more. So that is a very quick overview and summary of very many things that are going on campus with the college governments through the year. I'm going to throw in now at the end just a little reminder to you that all of these executives and all of these student members of college governments are elected, and they're chosen and elected by you, the students in the various colleges. So when you start to see emails in your Griffmail inbox, because often the college govs will reach out to you directly that way, or social media posts that ask for candidates for open positions or ask you to get out and vote for your representatives, it's really, really important that you do that and that you make your voice heard. So definitely participate, be a part of that process. And again, as you get further into your degree, you might decide you would like to run for a position in a club or a student government. And that can be a great way to meet people and a really fantastic way to build your resume and learn some employable and transferable skills for the future too. So now we're going to transfer back over to Patrick and Amelia, who are going to talk to you about our two student engagement platforms, again, that we mentioned earlier, Griff Life and the I Am a Griffin app, and all the ways that you can use them to connect with your student governments and all of our different clubs and associations. So, Patrick, over to you.
All right. So, hello, everybody. My name is Patrick. I am going into my 4th year of biomedical sciences this year. I use he, him pronouns, and I am on the orientation team this year. So we're going to be working to plan O Week, make sure O Week is super, super great. We're super excited to be back in person. So to make sure everyone can get the most out of O Week and attend all of the events, I would just like to give a quick talk about Griff Life. So Griff Life is our website where you can find information, browse through clubs and societies, and find events that you are interested in. And this is the platform where all of the clubs and societies will post their events. So it's all in one location, so it makes it really easy. As you can see on the screen, you can click the Events tab at the top of the Griff Life homepage and search for events. You can also filter through events using the search bar, and you can change the date range, you can select themes and categories and all that good stuff. And you can also secure your spot at some events by RSVPing, because some events will require you to RSVP, some are more a walk-in style. In my experience, this tab was especially useful during O Week. Scrolling through the events page and marking down events on a separate piece of paper or on a calendar is a really common strategy that first-year students use to kind of plan their most action-packed O Week schedule for themselves. Having all the events in one place really does make everything really, really easy, and I'm glad I had this available to me during O Week. And you can also use the Organizations tab at the top to search for clubs and societies that may be of interest to you. You can search for keywords, or you can just scroll through the list. And you can also click on an organization if you're interested in it, and you can find their contact info and any upcoming events that they're running. I remember when I was in second year and I finally felt that I was ready to get involved on campus, I quite literally just scrolled through this entire list and made note of the ones that interested me. Then I would try to attend their events or reach out to them in some way, and it eventually led me to move up in a couple of them. And attending club events is definitely a great way to get involved on campus, in my opinion. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that it is important to remember to sign in to Griff Life with your Guelph single sign-on so that you can see all of the event details and actually RSVP to events. And with that being said, we'll pass it off to Amelia to talk about the app.
Thank you, Patrick. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the I Am a Griffin app. So the I Am a Griffin app, or IAAG for short, is your one-stop shop for everything about the University of Guelph. The app features a campus map, resources, and information about campus services, and it's also another way that you can see events happening on campus. There's even a student feed where you can connect and chat with other students in real time. I will also share an insider tip with all of you. The orientation week schedule will be posted in the events section of the app and in Griff Life in the middle of August. The I Am a Griffin app works similarly to Griff Life in the way that each event will have its own posting, so you can see times, dates, event descriptions, and how to get involved with the event. I would highly recommend using the app, especially during O Week.
Wonderful. Thank you, Amelia. And with that, that comes to the end of our presentation for you folks this afternoon. I hope you folks learned a little bit about kind of some of the groups, clubs and societies, the CSA, Interhall Council, or Off-Campus Student Association, and you found a few things that might pique your interest. Just wanted to mention that I know we went through a lot of content today, and it's okay for you folks not to have everything memorized or down pat, or to even be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. It is totally okay, and getting involved is going to look different for each and every one of you. You don't need to be involved in 10 clubs and societies and going 15 events each week, especially if you're heading into your first year. It can be quite overwhelming. So my advice to you would just be to try one new thing, or try to go to one event during a week that maybe you are interested in, and start from there. And just know that any way that you prefer to get involved is a great way to form some community on campus. So now we would love to take any questions that you folks may have about our presentation, about kind of CSA, OKUS, or IHC, or any of the clubs and societies we have available to you. Christina, I am seeing one question in the chat about how do students start their own club? Would you mind coming and chatting about that.
Absolutely. So we absolutely, between the CSA and our Leadership Education and Development Office, we very much welcome new clubs. We think that's very exciting. We're happy to support students through doing that. What would usually happen is we would ask you to reach out to our office. We've got an email address, leader@uofguelph.ca. And what we would do is connect with the CSA with your idea and with the kind of club that you're looking for, and just make sure that there is not actually already a club that has sort of that theme or someone that you might want to work with. And then what that process looks like, and of course we would share all these details with you at the time, is you would have to find an organization to sponsor you. So based on whatever your club of interest might be, let's say it was astronomy. There is already an astronomy club, but we're going to use that for an example. We would decide between the Central Student Association and the various college governments where might be the best place for your club to reside, or who would you be associated with. And then there's a process for getting your club approved and then starting to gather members and submit documents to get your club started. So I won't get into all of those details now, but there's definitely support for new clubs. We love to see new clubs every year, and we'd be happy to help anyone through that process that wanted to start to do that right off the bat with your first year. Jack, was there anything you wanted to add to that from your end?
I think that just about covers it. I was just typing out what you were saying so I could put it in the chat here.
Amazing. Thank you, Christina and Jack, and thank you to all our awesome folks who came out to present this really great information to all of you. I hope you learned a little bit today. Some things piqued your interest. And like we said, if you have any questions really about entering your first year at University of Guelph, or any questions about today's session, feel free to email start@uofguelph.ca. Myself and some of the wonderful folks on this call, Amelia and Patrick, monitor that email, and we can help get you the answer to those questions that you might have in your first year of university. A question just came in here about being really interested in climbing. And is interested in getting involved in a climbing club and was not able to contact them. So if you're looking for more information on our climbing club, please email start@uofguelph.ca with your question, and we can get you all set up and connected to them as well. And that goes for any club or society if you're interested in learning more, or you want to know, is there an origami club? Is there a jugglers club? Yes, there is, and we can help connect you with that information. So wherever you folks are tuning into or in from, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you in our Start on Campus next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye.